Hello, hey everyone, and welcome to May 23rd, I believe. My next video, which I've been waiting for to do, I've been trying to do. I always feel it has to be something genuine. I hate using the word organic, but it's got to be something genuine, not scripted, just from my heart and hopefully my mind. One of the things that, again, I wanted to kind of touch base on is just reminding us to hopefully start the day off in some form of positive forward movement. And the very simple way I thought that I've come up with is obviously you have to have an abnormality, something different in the morning. If it's you drink coffee every time, then drink water, or I don't know. If you have a donut, don't have a donut. Something that kicks you in a different manner. So I thought an easy one that I would suggest, and hopefully you would take it on, would be a very simple one. We all get dressed to go to work or get up to go to school or whatever it is. We're more than likely getting dressed. So I thought the easy abnormality is whatever sock you put on first, if it's your left or your right, because everybody pretty much is a creature of habit. You probably put on your right one all the time, every time. It's probably been once or twice you did the other one and you're like, oh, this feels weird. That's your first reminder, right? Or if you put your right foot in a pant leg or shorts or whatever it is that you do, your shoes, your sneakers, if you tie the left one or the right, I think you get the gist of it. So if you start doing stuff like that, you automatically will be reminded of today is a different day. Today is a day that I'm going to be abnormal in a good way, in a positive light. I think the main reason is because it's supposed to be a reminder of being different. Be different today. How do you be different? Exactly that. Start going off. The people you see at work or in life, your kids, your wife, your husband, whoever it is, whoever your partner is, if you have that, if you don't, if it's your cat, your dog, whatever it is, sometimes you walk out the house and it's like, hey, I'll see you later. But maybe it'll be like, okay, give me a hug. I'll see you later. I love you. All these little things that are important to people. So it's not just about having a different day, but being a difference in somebody else's life as well as your own, because your mindset will already be set. It'll be moving. It'll be thought-provoking to you to say, okay, what am I doing? I put on my sneakers on a little different day. I felt a little weird. Supposed to be doing something. What is that? I don't know. Live, laugh, try something. I'm not saying that you don't. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want people to think that my perspective is that people don't know this. I'm going to always say it. It's not necessarily something you don't know. I'm just going to try to hopefully be a reminder or give tools or say words that might trigger you into thinking that and believing that. Because that's probably one of my next videos is talking about knowing something and believing something. Because over time I've learned that those two are different. Knowing is a more concrete, absolute thing, and believing is something that is in your heart and in your soul, and both are very strong, but the knowing part is obviously the more concrete and absolute. The believing is believing somebody's going to be good to you, believing that you're going to be good to someone. Those are believing. Knowing is actually knowing that you will not allow anything to not be good from you, and that you wouldn't allow anything bad from someone to be okay for you to accept, right? I think we spend too much time, juggling, running our routines and forgetting to tell people the things that need to be told. And sometimes it's simple as that. It's simple as, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I want to mention something. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I thought my mind works very different sometimes, and all the time. One of the things that we were discussing was appreciation of moments. That sometimes we forget that moments are simple and they're right there, and we don't even look at them and delve deep into them. And that's what I mean about what we should be doing. At least in my eyes, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take advantage of every moment. I'll give you the perfect example. We were invited to a friend's house for the husband's birthday party, and we obviously were happy to go and celebrate and do what we can. So the wife invited or brought in somebody to dance, do some dance steps. What I thought was salsa, so I was like, oh, I'm a cheater because I know how to dance salsa. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna realize. But it was more like a Zumba class, and it was pretty cool. It was great. It was hot. We did it outside. There might be some video surfacing at some point of it, but it's not so much that the video surfaces or anything like that, because that's just the silly side of it. But I sat there with a friend of mine. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to avoid trying to use people's names, because people are going to be like, why'd you say my name? I don't want people in my business. But I was sitting with a friend. We discussed it later, and we were just talking about life, and I had a great conversation with him, and kind of why I gravitate to him, and I enjoy his conversations because he's got great perspectives. But he's also a good listener, which I think is also another important trait, right? But we were discussing it, and the funny thing is, he told the husband, hey, you ready to go dance? They're doing this, that, whatever. And what was funny was that the husband didn't know this was happening. So it was a big surprise. So he was like, what? And so I was like, I think you broke the surprise. Anyway, the husband too did it the best, made the best of it is what we did. Because it was whatever many, we made the best of it, because we were in a very awkward situation dancing where we were at, so, and we were on the grass, which is the bottom line, with a little bit of a hill. So it was a little bit difficult, but not impossible. And the thing is, everybody gave it the old college try, But as we were sitting there discussing it after, I talked to my friend. I go, you know what? I think, as long as we don't miss the beautiful part of this. I go, his wife made an effort to bring somebody in for the husband. And at one point, me and my friend are the only ones that were left dancing. I don't know if we were struggling, surviving, whatever it was, but we were doing our best to be there, right? Everybody else was going, stepping off. After a few songs, it gets... And plus, we were in, I'm guessing, 85-degree weather, something like that. It was pretty hot. Anyway, at the end of the day, I told him, I look at him, I go, you know what? See, to me, these are the things that we need to talk about, or at least appreciate for a minute. She might not realize it, and he might not realize it. Maybe till later. Maybe later she'll go, I'm so glad that those two guys stayed on the dance floor, or that everybody else tried. She made an effort for her husband to do something special on his birthday. Excuse me. And everybody made an effort. And that alone is a big deal. And I personally think that that's going to, when she realizes it, if she didn't realize it already, it's going to make her feel what she wanted to feel, which was a special moment for her husband that she created, that she tried to put together. And it actually became fruition because her friends and family actually got out there and danced, and we did something. He danced, obviously, too, because he was excited. He wanted to know. He wanted to dance something like salsa or something like that, which was funny. But at the end of the day, we talked more about it. And talking about it brought us onto some different levels of what we were discussing about appreciation. That sometimes something cool happens around us or from us or to us, and we're like, oh, that's cool, but don't really realize the back end of it, or the hard work, or the efforts that people put forth for you to be in that situation. So it's as simple as somebody's birthday and somebody who loves them bringing them a gift, or just showing up, right? So I would continue to say, please be that, please do that. I think what I've learned over time is that those moments are, again, what I keep calling, they're all surface appreciation. Everything I think that I want to go by and talk about is stuff to not be a surface situation. I think it needs to be something that you delve in deep, because if it's got 3 or 4 levels to the surface, or pulling back the shell, or whatever you want to call it, the cover, and there's 3 or 4 more levels to that, that's what you need to get to, because then maybe talking it out, feeling what you felt, you might appreciate what we have even more. I think we all have an appreciation for life, right? We have appreciation for our partners, our kids, if we have any, whatever. Everything that surrounds you that puts a smile on your face, I think we appreciate those things. But sometimes we don't appreciate it as much, right? I was thinking, the funny thing is, I was thinking of my dog the other day. I was like, I feel bad for my dog because she's got allergies, and we do the best we can. And I personally don't. I love my dog. I personally don't like to pet her because sometimes if I'm not ready, she's a little greasy if she hasn't been washed or whatever. And I ain't having that greasy for whatever reason. It's not a germaphobe. It's just I'm like, and now I got to go and clean my hands. Or just leave my hands dirty. I don't know. But little things like that, that are not even silly, just that. So the other day she was feeling it, and I could tell she can't get to her direct back unless she throws herself on the ground, finds a way to scratch it. Some dogs do. And she came over to me, and I started just patting on her, scratching her, and I was going to town scratching her back, and I know she was so happy. And at that moment, I was happy. It brought out some joy for me, something that I could at least be happy that I was able to bring her some peace or some feeling that the back, as much as it needed to be scratched, it was not only scratched, but it was scratched by somebody that loves her and did it because he knew it was going to help her or make her feel better for that moment. So with that being said, I just want to continue to keep bringing these videos to remind you to just be, so the abnormal who you need to be this after this video is maybe start tomorrow or pick a day, and maybe you can put your socks on the wrong way or the opposite way, put your pants on, brush your hair differently. If you put on earrings, put a different one on that you normally would. Brush your teeth with your left hand, not your right. I don't know. There's so many different little things you do in the morning before you get up and go. Do it with your opposite hand, things like that. Hopefully that will help you be reminded to start your day. Because I think if you could do that every day, we change the conditioning that we have. I'm not saying that our condition now is bad. I just think that we all need to be enlightened or be reminded and kick off our day with I'm going to do it. I'm going to knock it out the park. I get asked sometimes, hey, how you doing? And I always say to people several things, because there's corny sayings, the I'm 6 feet above ground, or, mine for years was I'm alive. That was always a thing, and it was corny, but I think about it now. This is like 30 years ago I would say that. And now I'm happy I'm alive. I'm not that I wasn't before, but now the things that I've seen in the last 30 years, 30 years later, I have 5 kids. I got a granddaughter, but I also have my grandkids from my foster son, my godson's kids who are like our grandkids, just so much. And so now when people ask me, I still use the words like I'm alive, but I'm alive and well. And what I tell people, which I think is funny, is how I personally think, people crack up when I say it though. I go, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm breathing. And, they were like, yeah, that's a great thing. It's pretty cool, And I go, you know what? Wait. You know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day? And they look at me all serious, and this is just me being myself, my silly self, or as I like to call my stupid self. I go, you know what? I'm going to try this breathing thing for the rest of the day, see how it works out. And it's sometimes as simple as that. We're in our world, man. We're doing our thing where, I don't know, man, we're moving and grooving, and as time goes on, the moving and grooving can maybe consume us and forget to, and it doesn't allow us to think our thoughts and our wishes that we had as somebody younger. This also goes out to my friends who are younger listening to these things. The earlier in your life, and some of you have heard this, like most of I work in stores now a lot, and there's a lot of younger people that work there. And I tell my kids this. I sometimes go to myself, do I talk to my kids this way? The way I talk to some of these kids out here who are in the same age range of 18s and early 20s. And yeah, absolutely, I talk to my kids. It's a little different because your kids won't always listen to you the way that maybe somebody else, an uncle, an aunt, maybe even the other parent speaks to them. But I'm always trying to encourage them to seek, their clarity early. And listen, kids are not dumb. I've heard some kids say some stuff, and I go, man, you're way ahead of the game. That's great that you know that, because I personally didn't know some things. I think I was pretty bright early on about perspective, about trying to live my life. I think that's why I become a bigger version of that. I don't know if it's a better version. I believe there's some tweaking that I've done that's turned me into a better person. I still think there's a lot more. Like I said, in the last 5 years have been a pretty much I don't want to call it an about face, but it definitely an about me and who am I and what am I supposed to be and what do I represent in this world to the people in my world, right? These videos are hopefully some of that. And I'm going to keep going. So try to breathe, try to live, try to do all that stuff. You know, all the corny phrases that exist in our world, they're only as corny as you allow them to be. I say use them, understand them. I've always also said the phrases that I love are phrases that somebody else used before us. That's why they're there. Somebody else has experienced what we did. You know, I listen to videos of people doing basically what I'm doing, right? You know, just talking, and you know, their perspectives to me are great, but a little too harsh. Almost like they know better. Like, you know, I'm a know-it-all. And I think that's where it personally has to be changed. It has to be something where, and why I wanted to do this, because I know I've always been very honest about giving advice. You know, some advice that I don't even take for myself. That's the sad part. You know, that goes another phrase, you know, practice what you preach. I've become that now more than I ever have before. I'm trying to do things that I didn't do before, but I would tell people to do it, you know. Just find what you think it is that you need, and then exploit it to the best of your abilities, and you know, bring in people to help you do that, because alone these things are not going to get done as fast or maybe as, you know, the best quality possible. So, you know, just know that you're there and you have an opportunity. So my shot this week is about abnormality, about just trying to find something that starts your day off different. You know, if you and your spouse have vehicles and one day you don't take your vehicle, take theirs, or the other spouse is like, my wife she does not like me driving her car. I love driving her car because it's got better sound system than mine. Mine is more comfortable, but it's a different situation. So when I drive it, I'm feeling something different. You know, I'm taking into consideration that it's not my vehicle. I miss my vehicle, so when I get back in it, but at the same time, I appreciate hers for hers. One thing that she loves is music, and you know, we were able to get her a system that's like, you know, out there. So anyway, that's mainly the main goal this week, hopefully, or for this video, is to have you find some form of abnormality. I know you can't, you know, not everybody's ambidextrous where you could, you know, you write normally with a right and you're going to go to left, or left to right. But maybe the way you press the button on an elevator, or how you start your car, or what you normally do. So find what's yours. Find what little tick is yours every morning, and go for it. Why not? What else do you have to do? I think one of the things I'm going to start doing at the end of this video is there's a picture that I have, that I saw a meme that I love, and it's because you guys don't understand. I love phrases. I love all these little sayings, and it's an older white guy, like he's like a motorcycle dude, you know, dressed in the black car, you know, the black leather jacket, you know, got chains or whatever, got long hair, beard, and he's on a little bike, like a girl's, like a little, you know, with the wheels on the side, training wheels on the side, with the little ruffles coming down the side on the handlebars, and he's riding it, and you can see he's doing like his damnedest to get through, you know, ride this bike. And the saying says something along the lines of, don't stop pedaling and don't stop living, because none of us are making it out alive. And I always think that that's such a great, you know, saying. Like I said, I think, you know, in my time of almost death, one of the things that I saw later was this whole, you know, what was big at the time or even before that was YOLO, you know, you only live once. And I saw or heard, and I call it dark. I think it's dark, and it's you only live once. And that could be considered, you know, and I'm sorry, not you only live once, I'm sorry, that you only die once. That to me was the darker side. But it also maybe is a more pressure on you to do something. Why shouldn't we have pressure? I'm 53. 54 is going to be here in 7 months or so. I want to know that I did something. That's my perspective and my prerogative now. It's a little bit of my goals in life, to do as much as I can. And that my audience, which is my wife, my kids, my friends and my family, obviously there's a priority within that thing. But in all of that, I have to be the first client to buy my, what I'm selling. I have to. If I'm not, then I'm not being true to myself or being true to you or whoever's, watching these type of videos. So with that being said, not to prolong it, I love you guys. I really do. Obviously when I see you guys, why it's always a fist bump or a hug or a hey or how you doing. And even simple things like that, like the how you doing, can change. One of my favorite sayings that my cousin used to always say, and recently I've been greeting people with it, and I go, hey, what's up? I'm your local yokel. I didn't grow up with that. It's corny. But you know what? I'm corny too. And so, if you change up a little bit. That's, I think, what I'm hopefully preaching today, and you'll take it and run with it. I don't want to be over redundant about it, but I say it because hopefully through this video, you've come to the conclusion that you're going to do something because you want to, not because I'm saying that's the thing to do. Give it a shot. See what happens. See what comes out of it. Maybe something great comes from it. Or maybe even out of 5 days that you do, you have 2 better days than you normally would have. Or it catapults you into the situation of going, you know what? I like this. Let's make it happen again. And let's do it again. And let's do it again. For me, I've always been funny, as most people know. I know who I am. I know I'm a jokester. I'm pretty witty. I want the last word. I usually get the last word. Nobody, I don't think, really has ever trumped me on that. I don't think anybody's ever beat me on that. But I just take that with you. Take that who you are. That happiness that you have inside. Bring it out. Share it a little bit, because you realize that sharing it with people, they're going to be willing to share back with you, and that alone might be a lot. Some people need it. I know I need it. I love exchanging energies, is what I like. Is my newer saying. So do that. Be it. Try to come up with something that works for you, but be abnormal. It'll bring some pretty cool stuff, and you'll make people laugh and smile, and you never know who needed it. I know I do. I can use when people say things to me that, even the funniest things, like people go, that you're pretty funny, or that was a good joke, or they laugh. That's great. I share something. One of these young people that I work with, as a colleague or somebody I see, pretty often, 3-4 times a week easily, maybe more. Is going to college and doing some project in school, some report or something like that. And I don't know, we started talking, and he goes, I watched the video the other day, and I was like, oh, good, that's cool. I want people to watch my videos, in hopes of, right? I don't expect everybody. Not everybody has the same attention span. Some people watch me for 30 seconds, and I go, okay, good night. I love you, Bogey, but not today. But he told me that he was working on his project, on his paper, whatever it was, and that he was listening to me, that he could do both. Obviously, he's the multitasker, I guess, which I'm not. That he was able to do both, and in doing both, he said, I listened to you. It was a lot of, good things I heard, and he goes, it was pretty soothing, and helped me go through my project a little easier. I focused a little bit more. I joked around. I go, maybe you were just tuning me out in order to tune into what you had to do. But whatever it was, it serves the purpose. So that's what I would ask. I would ask you, when you watch my videos, just think that it's for a purpose. My purpose not might catch everybody that hears it. I just hope it catches, the person at the right time when needed. And, maybe you pass it on to someone else. So, with that being said, again, I love you guys. I hope to see you somewhere in the street. Go hug somebody's neck. Tell people you love them. Don't forget to remind them to love on their people that they love, So we shall talk soon. Be well. Be safe. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Write something, comment below, let me know you're there. Even if it's a hello, I have no problem starting conversations, answering back. I'm happy that I have some form of a little bit of a platform right now to do something that I've been wanting to do Again, like I said, I know it'll probably get into a podcast version, but I want to make sure that we give it the substance that it's supposed to believe in, not only my perspective, but other people that we'd bring in and talk to. So, excuse me. With that being said, I'll see you. Be good, behave yourselves, and love on people, care on people. But obviously knowing where those boundaries are, that's a whole nother conversation and stuff. But it's true. You have to know how much to give of yourself and to whom. It's a difficult situation, but it's basic. Sometimes just a regular is more than enough. You don't have to do more than that. Just tell somebody, hey, have a great day, and blah kata. So take care, be good, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Hopefully the next one will be up and running, I don't know, whenever it is. Take care. Bye-bye.